My name is Grace. I never knew love could be sweet and painful at the same time. When I married Daniel, I thought my life was complete. Everyone spoke of children. My mother, his mother. I believed our home would soon be full of baby laughter. But years passed, and our house remained quiet. At first, I didn't worry. Then the next month came, and nothing. I drank every bitter leaf water, every ginger tea people recommended. I prayed when the world slept. Neighbors asked with smiling mouths but unsmiling eyes, "Grace, when will you bring your baby to play with ours?" Their words were daggers behind smiles. After the third year, I stopped attending naming ceremonies. I'd give a gift, greet everyone, then run home to cry on my pillow. Daniel always said, "Don't worry, God's time is best." But sometimes his kindness felt like a wall, a door closing between us and the truth. My mother came to visit. She cooked soup, cleaned the house, and said softly, "You are my child. Your smile is weak." I had no words. In church, the pastor preached about Hannah. I cried through the message. People prayed with me, said God would do it soon. But a voice inside me whispered, "When?" That night, I couldn't sleep. I heard Daniel in the restroom. When he came out, I saw him shaking, the man I thought was my strength. He whispered, "Forgive me, Grace. It's not you. It's me." Then he said the words that broke my world. The doctor told me 2 years ago. I am infertile. My mind replayed every night of prayer, every herbal remedy, every time I blamed myself. He knew. For 2 years, he knew, and said nothing. I loved him, but love now sat in a room full of secrets. I packed my bag, not to leave forever, but to breathe again. Something told me to open the drawer. I found it. The old brown envelope. The truth in black and white. Then a knock came. Soft, careful. It was Michael, Daniel's best friend. His face carried worry, and something I couldn't name. He looked from my face to Daniel's. The air was heavy with truths no one wanted to say. My phone buzzed, a message from Dr. Felix, the same hospital. The message said, "Grace, we need to talk. It's important." My eyes met Daniel's. The silence swallowed us whole. The message from Dr. Felix was short, but heavy. He said I deserved to know the full truth. I hid my phone quickly. Daniel looked broken, and Michael, his best friend, watched us with quiet eyes that seemed to see everything. Michael asked if I was all right. His voice carried concern. But that night, it felt different. Daniel tried to speak, but his voice broke. He looked like a man drowning in his own shame. Michael leaned in. "Daniel, talk to me," he said. But the silence in that room said more than words ever could. I wanted to scream, to tell Michael the truth, but my voice stayed locked inside my chest. At the door, he whispered, "Call me if you need to talk. Anytime." His voice carried something unspoken. Daniel sat there, head buried in his hands. For the first time, I saw not my husband, but a boy lost in shame. Finally, I asked, "Why didn't you tell me?" His eyes filled with tears he could no longer hide. "I was scared of losing you," he said. "I didn't want you to see me as less of a man." Another message came. The doctor said, "Please come alone." My heart skipped. That night I didn't sleep. He faced the wall. I stared at the ceiling, haunted by the doctor's words. At dawn I lied. I said I was going to the market. He kissed my forehead, tired, trusting. When I reached Dr. Felix's office, his eyes told me I was not ready for what he had to say. "Daniel's case is permanent," he said. No treatment, no miracle. When he came for tests, the doctor continued, he didn't come alone. He came with Michael. My heart froze. The doctor's words echoed in my head. He came with Michael. The world around me disappeared, and I finally understood. My pain had only just begun. That night, the moon hid behind the clouds and silence filled the compound. I woke up again to that same uneasy feeling, the kind that crawls under your skin and refuses to leave. When I turned toward the window, I saw him, Michael, standing outside in the dark, staring up at me. My heart nearly stopped. I pulled the curtain shut and backed away. What did he want? What was he thinking? The air in the room felt heavy, as if my sin had taken human form and was now watching me from outside. By morning, Daniel was cheerful as ever, humming gospel tunes while frying eggs in the kitchen. He was already planning baby names, talking about repainting the room for the nursery. But I could barely breathe. Every word from him was another reminder of the truth I was hiding. Later that day, Michael came again, but this time something was different. His face was pale, his eyes sunken. He looked like a man who hadn't slept. "Grace," he said quietly, "we need to talk." I shook my head immediately. "No, Michael. You promised," he interrupted, his voice trembling. "Grace, I can't. Every time I see Daniel smiling, my chest burns. I'm losing my mind." He took a step closer, desperation in his eyes. "If you don't tell him, I will. He deserves to know the truth." I froze. The ground felt like it was spinning. "Michael," I whispered, "you will destroy us all." Just then, the front door opened. Daniel stepped in, holding a small teddy bear. "Look," he said cheerfully, "for our baby." We both froze. The silence was so sharp it could cut. Michael's jaw tightened. "Daniel," he said, voice cracking, "there's something I cut in quickly. "He just came to congratulate us again, honey." "Right, Michael?" Michael blinked, caught off guard, then nodded slowly. "Yes, congratulations." But the look in his eyes told me it wasn't over. That night, I lay awake listening to the sound of Daniel's soft snoring. My phone buzzed under the pillow. A message. From Michael. Greater than, "If you won't tell him, I will." Tomorrow, I sat up. Heart pounding. Tomorrow. The next morning, I went straight to Michael's house. He opened the door, surprised to see me. "Grace, what are you doing here?" I didn't wait. I walked in, slammed the door, and whispered harshly, "You want to ruin my life? Go ahead. But remember, Daniel will lose both of us. You'll lose your brother, and I'll lose everything." He stared at me for a long moment, then whispered, "Maybe that's the price of truth." But before I could answer, we heard someone outside. A faint sound, the creak of a shoe, the shadow of a man moving past the window. My blood froze. Michael looked at me. "Grace, that's Daniel." Daniel was outside, listening to everything. And in that moment, I knew the truth I feared most had just walked through the door of our lives.